Project Phillips. These videos are actually like they're not hard to make, right? They're not very they don't require much effort on my part. It's really just me coming to the camera and talk about my insight while I'm working on my progress or like some advice that I have. And the ultimate goal, at least if I'm remembering correctly, was that I would get to a point in my life, in my career, where so I'm like, okay, what he's doing is currently impossible, right? I don't get how he's doing what he's doing. But they can look back on something like this public diary, and be like, oh, now I can extract inspiration from that and go on my own venture, go on my own thing, and then do stuff that people are also inspired by. Um, but it's tricky because sometimes I really just don't want to talk. I have no idea what to talk about. So like even now, it's around 11:31, right? So like 29 minutes left in the day. I have no idea what to really make a video about because I'm working on my exams. So I have no new knowledge. I have no new insights. I have no new progress or any projects. And it's like, okay, do I just come here and talk about loosely stuff I loosely care about? Because it doesn't really make that much sense. Because like ultimately in the whole goal of this project, that doesn't really align. Like sometimes I think it's fun. I remember one of my favorite videos I've ever done was the Superman one where I just like talked about how much I love the movie. Right? Like I was fine with that. But if that becomes like even 20% of this project, I do think it loses its value. I do think it loses its purpose, which is like me talking to a camera like at night every time I'm posting on YouTube. Um but even that says I do question the goal of the project sometimes because if the goal, if I remember correctly, because it's been over 1,000 days, right? If I'm remembering correctly, if the goal is to have someone be inspired by my work and use this as a way to even see, okay, he didn't have it all together. He had to make many there were many steps he took. Does that then mean it's the value of this project comes from an external person, like it comes externally, right? So someone has to say, I got inspiration and that's how this project gets its value. And then if it's not that, then if it's like something where it's like it was purely internal where this project helps me grow as a person, yeah, it helps build discipline, it helps me stay focused, helps me stay accountable, then why even post online? Like why put, because each I have a public video each day, right? Um and if it's purely internal, why do I even post online? Because like it's not even like the most beneficial thing to myself. Like there's no new opportunities that come from Project Phelps. No one has ever said, "Hey, I see you're doing this daily vlog thing. Come work out this cool thing I'm doing." Um, I really don't know. I I think my only thing with the external thing is I don't mind it per se. I think it's just a bit tricky thing because then when you start going down the road of okay, there is a aspect that's value comes from someone else, right? Externally, it then does warrants like, okay, do I do certain things to then increase that validation from other people? Like I can make these videos much better. I can actually try and switch to a weekly format where I have a higher quality video. Um, I could talk about stuff that would warrant more external validation. I could do stuff like that. Um, but then if I do that, then how much of the do I lose? How much of the project do I lose for myself? 'Cause I do think a lot of this project has been mostly tailored towards one person, which is myself. Um, I don't know. And also could just be a false problem, to be honest. Like I think sometimes I overthink the project when I have nothing else to say. And I think this is one of those times. So like maybe tomorrow, if I have like something really cool I've worked on, or something really cool I want to advise for someone watching a video, maybe I'll just like realize this is actually a real problem I have. This is just something that is interesting when there's nothing else. Um, but no, I think to even end off this video, I think something I also find really fun about this whole project is that it's an amazing project. I love it very much. I think it's one of the greatest things I've worked on in my life. Um, but I just don't know how to end it. And that's like to be very blunt. I don't know how to end it because I have this immense, immense goal for how I want an ending to be for something like this. And it never sits right with me to like, okay, I have this immense goal, but I'm not willing to put in the work for that immense goal of the project because in my head to put in that work for that finale would deter me from the stuff I'm doing now. So like let's say Star Labs, that's like one of my biggest focuses right now. My internship, one of my biggest focuses right now. Do I then go say I'm gonna like do 2 months working on a cinematic finale when the purpose of this whole project is not per se the project itself, but rather like my actual ambitions, my actual career, my actual goals. I don't know. And maybe I could just do like one video where it just ends randomly where it's like, hey, this is the last video. I have no spectacle, I have no montage. And just like, hey, I talk about what I was working on, and that's the thing. I think that could be cinematic in its own way, and that could be satisfying. But then, would it be something I look back on and feel like I did the right thing? 'Cause I do look back on these videos a lot, and I think it does provide a lot of value in terms of motivation, inspiration, and all that. I think I want like the final thing, not only to be inspiring for a random person, right? That's the external validation, but I also want to be inspiring for myself at any point in time where I can say, hey, there was this 1,000 day plus thing I worked on, and then it has this finale that captures the message, the work, the triumphs, the losses, and all that. And it doesn't propels me or it doesn't pushes me forward to do what I'm currently doing at that point in time. But that's something I have to think about more after I do these exams and some other stuff. Besides that, though, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.